you brought out a lot of points, Jay Ryder, on this video about the hate that black people have for oneself. I think that if you look at stats versus what most black people see in their own black communities every day, I think those stats will basically mirror each other. I don't believe that a lot of the stats are wrong. I really don't, because all my life I grew up in North Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, and I saw actual walking and talking statistics my whole entire life. I saw black men and black women become statistics. Most of the people in my neighborhood, and I'm not talking about a 4 block radius, I'm talking about all over where I knew family members that lived in another part of town. Because see, I live in Philly, and Philly is predominantly black. The inner city of Philadelphia is predominantly black, from the good areas to the so-called ghetto areas. Predominantly black. There's nowhere in Philadelphia you're going to go where black people do not live. Now, depending on those areas, show how high bad statistics go, depending on, you know, the family structure of certain areas, and how, you know, many people live and how much money they make. All those things impact in certain areas of just my city. And one thing I do know, that there's a lot of cities just like mine across the country. Philadelphia is no different than any other big city where it has a high population of black people. You are right. People are biased on what they believe according to the stats they're given. You spoke about how black men throw out the 70% black women being unwed. Now, depending on how you look at those stats, it could be a little higher, it could be a little lower, depending on how a person looks at those stats. But the fact is that those stats are being put out there, and they've been put out there by white men way before black men said it. Black men just paid attention to the stats. And the reason why black men paid attention to the stats is because of what black men saw in their own neighborhoods since they were little boys. They saw walking, talking statistics, and they saw the outcome of those walking, talking statistics, or those who were getting ready to become a statistic that we are looking at now. The HIV rates, the statistics, they could be real, they could be false, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the statistics are there. And the people who put up disease statistics are not black people. Those are majority white people. I have no issue, Jay Ryder, with this video. I think a lot of stuff you said was really on point. I'm just talking about the things that, you know, I feel that you may not have really gotten into as deeply as you should have, for the simple fact that, you know, we talk about, you know, racists and, you know, how people get on YouTube and pose. See, I don't have any issue, you know, talking to you about these things, because like you, I am black. And I'm not talking about black just by blood. I'm talking about dark-skinned black man. And as a dark-skinned black man, Jay Ryder, you can understand the certain things you went through just by the color and the dark color of your skin, by the width of your nose, and by the texture of your hair. How people that don't even know you, black or white, how they view you just for you being black. So I can understand where you're coming from on those issues, and wanting to be putting away the racism and look at things in the black community that are throwing us off. But at the same time, Jay Ryder, you have to understand that if we do not look at these stats and fix what's in our community, how can anybody else include us in theirs? Go to any inner city where you talk about stats. Here's a stat for that ass. 3 black men died here in Philadelphia. Young boys. 3 young boys died in the past 3 days here in Philadelphia, by the hands of another black person. Not by white men, but by black people. Now, those stats are true. When black women come on and say, you black men kill each other, you've killed our sons, you've killed our daughters, you out here shooting up the neighborhood, they're supposed to shame us. We're supposed to feel shame for our black brothers and some black sisters running around committing murder in our own neighborhoods. Now that's self-hate. And it's no problem and to come out and say that those stats are true. I know they're true. Screw what the white man says. I lived around it. I saw people dying in the middle of the street. because some idiot didn't want to work for his earning and to earn his living, so he shot somebody to take what they worked for. This is what I saw with my own two eyes. And everybody I know saw this, unfortunately. So if we can talk about the truth of stats that plague black men, that black men bring on themselves, why are we so scared to tell these black women the truth? Because it's both of us. If black men are killing the black kids out here that are going to school, because usually the ones that get killed are the ones that are halfway good kids. Those are the ones that usually get killed out here. Let's talk about also the flip side of that, which is our women, and how a lot of our women are doing wrong. I don't think that we should bring white people in this conversation, Jay Ryder. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I can't tell you what to do with your page or who, not to, include in your conversation. But I am very wary of bringing white people into this talk that black people should have, because this is not the white man's problem unless black people take that bullshit in the white neighborhoods. Then it becomes their problem. But most black people I know that do dirt, the single black mothers and the black men that are riding around shooting each other and acting silly, and they usually live around all black people. They're usually doing these things to their own communities. And this is what I see with my own two eyes. I don't think you would deny that you've seen it with your two eyes if you lived in a halfway predominantly black neighborhood. And I don't think any black man or black woman would deny what I say, because they had to see it with their own two eyes. We all, as black people, have shared experiences. We know someone that got out, that went outside in the street to go to the store, black boy or black man. We all know someone that went out into the street to go to the store, go to work, and all of a sudden the cops are knocking on your door telling you that he was shot and killed. We all have a shared experience or know someone very close to us that has shared that experience. We all know of a sister that went out there and had a bunch of kids by a bunch of different dudes and is juicing the welfare system and acting a fool and still running out partying and not taking care of her kids properly or raising them or teaching them right. And those kids are going to go out into the street and have influence on other kids. I think we have a pattern going on here that a lot of us refuse to look at. I'm not saying you refuse to look at it. I just think, Jay Ryder, you're more on the lady side of trying to uplift them and not, talk negative to them, which is your right. I just think that as a black man who believes in black men and black women unity, that we can't do it without the black woman and the black woman can't do it without the black man, that we need to clean house first. We need to really, really get on people who are robbing, stealing, whether they do it by force or whether they do it by scheming and conniving, whether it's a black man or a black woman. We have our own people in our own communities that are killing people that go to work every day, that are adding to this society. And if we have a black man that's doing that, or a black boy that's doing that, 9 times out of 10, his father's not home, and his mother is either directly or indirectly helping him commit these atrocities. We really need to look honestly at what's going on in our communities. Because if we don't look honestly, if we keep on sugarcoating certain things and, coming full force at other things, nothing will ever be done. Nothing will ever be done. And all we'll be doing is sitting here, arguing. But to bring white people into this, it's impossible for a black man to be racist. All a black man is going to have is a wariness and a distrust of white people based on the history, because justice was never done. Jews got all of Nazi Germany's assets and over billions and billions of marks after the fall of Nazi Germany to help them rebuild their broken nation. After slavery, we were told we were going to get 40 acres and a mule. They gave us a Coke and a smile. Justice has never been served for black people for the atrocities that were committed by white people. While every other race usually gets, justice, we never got justice. We got the white people's ass to kiss. And until we combat that, that's all we'll still be doing is kissing their ass. Peace out. Work hard.